Explosion could reach as far as a mile from the crash site. China is accusing the U.S. of using indiscriminate force to shoot it down off South Carolina. But former National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster tells CBS Mornings,
this is part of a broad campaign to extract as much data and information as the Chinese Communist Party can to gain an advantage over us.
Republicans argue the balloon should have been taken out over the Pacific before it entered Alaskan airspace. History at last night's Grammys. Beyonce won a record-breaking 32nd award for Best Dance Electronic Album for Renaissance.
I'd like to thank the queer community for your love and for inventing this genre.
Song of the Year went to Lizzo for About Damn Time. CBS's Dana Cortez.
Lizzo had the acceptance speech of the night, admitting to skipping school to catch a Beyonce show and dedicating the award to her musical hero, Prince.
I stayed true to myself because I wanted to make the world a better place, so I had to be that change.
Another tech company is joining the layoff wave. Dell says it'll cut about 5% of its workforce, pause hiring, and limit employee travel because of market uncertainty. And sorry, advertisers, there's no more room for you at the Super Bowl.
Since we all love M&Ms, and let's face it, me, it only makes sense that I am renaming America's favorite chocolate candies Ma and Yas.
Fox says it's sold out of all of its TV ad space as of the end of January. Some 30-second spots sold for more than $7 million. S&P futures down 33. Dow futures off 191. This is CBS News.
This is terrifying.
This is Race to Savings on your bathroom update, now at Menards. Check out our great selection of shower heads from Waterpik. They have innovative, sleek designs with Power Pulse therapeutic massage. Enjoy a better shower experience today with Waterpik. Right now, pick up a multi-height shower head for only $49.99. Save big money on Waterpik's bathroom project to the finish line. Race to savings on great deals now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus. Just go to harrys.com and enter code TRUST at checkout. That's harrys.com, code TRUST. Enjoy.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 25 degrees at 9:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. A 17-year-old girl, after disappearing January 25th from Mount Pleasant, has been found safe. Jade Lee Sackett was believed to have been in the Saginaw or Lansing areas. Police say the girl's father was able to locate her, although they did not specify where she was found. Police have thanked the public for numerous tips they've received in the case. Authorities arrested a man in Flint Thursday who was wanted on felony firearms charges in Mount Pleasant. According to the U.S. Marshals Service, a task force, which included local and state police, located James Ashley at a residence in the 2000 block of Borderline Drive in Flint. Marshals say when the task force made entry to execute a search warrant, the man and 3 other armed men left the building through the rear windows, where they were arrested without incident by other task force personnel who had formed a perimeter. Law enforcement reportedly recovered 7 firearms, hundreds of rounds of ammunition, and 74 ecstasy pills from the residence. Charged with felony firearm offenses, resisting arrest, and drug possession. Saginaw Township man is in hot water for shining a laser at a state police helicopter. Police say Eric Orlet shone a green laser at the helicopter sometime in July from the front porch of a residence. He was charged last Friday on one single count of aiming a beam of directed energy emitted from a directed energy device at an aircraft. The charge is a 5-year felony. Orlet has been released on bond. WSGW News Time 9:07.
Engaged to be married? Planning the biggest day of your life? Join us February 12th from 1 to 3:30 p.m. at the Great Hall in Midland for the Bliss Bridal Wedding Expo and Fashion Show. One day only, be inspired and find everything for your wedding. Fabulous door prizes include a $500 cash prize and more. Tickets are only $5 at the door or online at blissmidland.com. At the bridal event of the season, the Bliss Bridal Wedding Expo and Fashion Show at the Great Hall in Midland.
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Income is king because we all need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
That's Kevin Ray, financial. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
WSGW News Time 9:08. The weather forecast is next. A Michigan State Police trooper is on administrative leave pending investigation into a deadly officer-involved shooting. Police say a trooper and a cadet from the MSP Houghton Lake Post responded to a vehicle in the ditch on I-75 that had apparently driven off the road. Investigation suggests the trooper made contact with the driver and believed him to be intoxicated. The trooper eventually fired his weapon, killing the man. It happened Friday night near Grayling. The victim was identified as 48-year-old David Stockton of Tawas. Stockton was pronounced dead at the scene. The trooper was not hurt. Senator Jeremy Moss has introduced Senate Bill 4, which expands the Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act to include sexual orientation and gender identity. This week we heard testimony for and against. Senator John Bumstead from the 32nd District suggested the bill needs more work.
Hopefully there is some room to make some amendments so that the sponsor would hopefully accept to just at least make sure that before we pass a law like this, that we've thought and talked seriously and compassionately about all the issues.
Bumstead argued that if the committee is wrong, it impacts people on an individual level. Ann Arbor is set to be redeveloped into condo and commercial space. The Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy has approved reimbursement for a developer of up to $1.7 million. The property at 303 North 5th and 312 and 314 Detroit Street used to be a gas station, auto repair shop, and car wash. The development is estimated to generate $17 million in private investment and create much-needed housing. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 910. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Mostly sunny skies today, a high near 37. Rain and snow chances overnight tonight, low around 30. Rain chances continue into Tuesday, a high near 44. Tuesday night, around 29. Wednesday, partly sunny, high near 41. Another chance of rain begins on Wednesday night, low around 34. Thursday continues that chance of rain, high near 44. Rain and snow chances Thursday night, low around 32. I'm meteorologist Michael Cotter with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, it's 24 degrees.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 190 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Well, indeed, we have a sponsor, Westside Decorating Center, sponsoring the Art Lewis Show. They're located at 5789 State Street in Saginaw. You can stop in, see their newly expanded showroom, and pick up all the decorating products you need for your home. Good Monday morning to you. I have a number of things to talk about this morning. The format for the morning, open phones this hour, whatever you'd like to chat about, 989-752-6111. In the second hour, we are going to talk to Representative Bill Schuette, the son of the other Bill Schuette, who was a congressman for a long time. And at 11 on Focus, the Great Lakes Loons will be the subject of focus. Yes, it's time to start thinking baseball. I think it's something just under 3 weeks when pitchers and catchers report in Florida and Arizona. Wow. Time flies when you're having fun. And speaking of time flying, I have some thank yous. Many of you may know that yesterday was my birthday. Turned the ripe old age of 80. Well, let's first talk about the number, because that's all it is in my mind, is a number. I've never thought much about birthdays, never really counted them. Everybody else seemed to, so I didn't have to. But I don't think much about it. But I got a lot of nice birthday wishes from a lot of very kind folks, and I want to thank you. I also want to thank a group of our family's friends. Apparently, before my wife's passing a couple of weeks ago, she was planning a surprise birthday party for me. And with her passing, of course, I had no idea that the party was being planned, but I found out about it after she passed because I was told by my sons. And to show you the kind of company and person that I work for, Alpha Media, and in particular, our market manager, Mark Thomas, picked up the ball and continued to arrange that party. And last night, 20 of us gathered at, my wife picked the restaurant because she knew it was one of my favorites. We gathered at Panda House, and we turned it into, at the suggestion of one of our close friends, we turned it into a sort of not only a celebration of my birthday, but a memorial for Linda. And it was a very, very nice evening. And to each and every one who attended, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. To Mark Thomas, our boss here at WSGW. You are a true gem, and it is a pleasure to work for you, and look forward to many more days with you. It is comforting to know that there are good people in the world. And trust me, there are many, many good people in the world. You don't hear about them very often in the news because the news focuses more on the negative. But there are lots of good people in the world. The people that responded to the passing of Linda, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not close to 1,000, between Facebook, my texts, cards, letters, you name it. There are a lot of caring people, and it was comforting to both my sons and myself to know that that many people thought enough to take the time to do that. So sometimes we forget to say thank you, and I just wanted to take this moment to remember to say thank you. And by the way, another thank you. The memorial that we asked folks to give in Linda's memory, if they so desired, was to the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan, and they have collected somewhere around $2,000 or more. Thank each and every one of you who contributed to that too. So I tell you, and I've told this to people, it has been a very, very humbling experience. And I count my blessings every day. Yes, I miss my wife. I know she's in a better place. but I count my blessings every day for being surrounded by the kind of people that I'm surrounded by, for my family, for my friends, for you, the listeners. Life goes on, and we have lots to do. I kid friends of mine that, I said this early on after her passing, to all you husbands out there, don't never estimate the amount of work your wife does at home, because now I have to do it all. So I've become very good friends with the laundry machine and the dishwasher and the vacuum cleaners and the dusting and all of those things, and the grocery shopping and feeding the birds and feeding the dog. And it's all coming to roost now because I am doing it all. On top of that, my wife had wanted me for years to take care of some things around the house, and that we debated about a little bit. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't think we should do that, honey. And well, guess what? Now that she's passed, I'm doing them all. It's all going to get done for no other reason than her memory. But it's going to be a process, to say the least. But it's an adjustment, and you move on. And speaking of moving on, Errol is in Saginaw. So let us say good morning to Errol this morning.
Good morning, sir. I don't know how I missed your birthday, but that's okay. You can join my club.
Thank you.
You know what the saying for the club is? If I wake up on the top side of the grass, it's going to be a good day. Okay.
Yes.
And that's what I live by. Okay. And you're more than welcome to use that. Put it over top of your desk.
Thank you very much. I might do that.
Okay. Now I'm going to move. Oh, by the way, Steve Dismore took your picture in case you're wondering who it was.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's it. Might no. I don't think it was. I don't know. You think it was?
Yep.
Really? Maybe it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have to look. It's probably on there. So anyway,
either that or he's dead.
No.
But anyway, in a good mood till the Saturday morning mail showed up. And what do I get? I get a lovely letter from the Saginaw Township School Board saying, "Hey, we're going to take $23 out of your account monthly because we want $274 million to remodel the schools in the township."
Well, then you vote no.
Well, yeah, that made me extremely happy this morning.
Good.
And I sure hope everyone else gets involved with it.
By the way,
we can stop the stupidity.
The picture was taken by Jeff Breyer. That's who I was trying to think of.
Oh, by Jeff? Okay, yeah. I apologize.
That's
I've
all
never
right.
made a mistake in my life.
There's one.
I've got a question for you. Have you ever been tongue-tied that you couldn't say anything?
Yeah, but not
Not
in later life. Mostly when I first got into broadcast, I can remember this vividly. I first got into broadcasting by accident. I backed into it because I was doing television directing at a station. And I had to sit in a room and read the news. And the jingle played, and there was dead silence because I couldn't get anything out of my mouth. You ever have that moment? You want to say something, you just can't get your mouth to work. That went on for about 10 seconds before I finally kicked myself.
The only thing I can remember is, I was in the Canadian Air Force, and we had to stand guard for a visit by Winston Churchill. And so there's about 12 of us standing, at attention out there. And I said, look at him. He's got a cigar stuck in his mouth, and we're standing in gasoline. So he walked by the line, and he stopped in front of me. He says, how you doing? I said, well, I would do a lot better if you got rid of the cigar out of the gasoline. My commander was not a happy camper with me. So other than that, it's been a fun life.
That's really good. So, all right, Errol.
I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you, buddy. Bye. Take care. Bye-bye now. Bye. We got to take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk to Rick from Danny Dog Productions, and I know what he has been doing the past weekend. We will do that, but let me take a moment to tell you about my friends at McDonald Ford in Freeland, a family dealership. I've known the family now for, my relations with the family go back to 1974 when I first got here, and met Tom Sr., who has since passed away, but I've known Tom Jr. and his son, Tommy III, who owned McDonald Ford in Freeland for many, many, many years. But, you know, even though the company's called McDonald Ford, they want you to know they're more than just a Ford dealer, because they have a lot of pre-owned cars that have all kinds of cars on it, Chevys and Lincolns and Jeeps, and there was a Mercedes one day. Matter of fact, I'm driving one of their vehicles. I'm driving, this is a pre-owned 2019 Chevy Z71 Trail Boss pickup. What a machine. And it's in great shape because they put all these vehicles through 100-point inspection. And if when you buy a car from McDonald Ford, you find there's a problem, they take care of it because they have an extensive service department for minor and major repairs. And on top of that, they have the Drive Collision Center if you get a fender bender. The quick lane service to get you in and out, to get your oil changed quickly. It all happens at McDonald Ford, where they really care about you. And I'm serious, they are a family dealership. The family's there. And they'd like you to become part of their family. So stop in and see them out in Freeland on M47 in Freeland, McDonald Ford. Stop in, tell them you heard me talking about them, and say hi to the McDonald's. One of them will be there for sure. We will be back after these notes.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Of our half-off deals going on right now from Applied Training Solutions, Daylight Outfitters, Super Cute, Salon Blue, the Bubble Tea Brew House, and Style Encore. All of these deals are... Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now and snag your deal before they sell out. RocketGrabPlus.com.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So 730-8405 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check. As easy as, that's 800-730-8405.
And this is the Fox Business Report.
More earnings news today, and it's coming in mixed. Cummins, the engine company, just reported better than expected sales in its recent quarter. It's providing an upbeat outlook. Kids clothing chain Children's Place, though, is predicting a surprise large loss. It blames the slowing economy and high container costs, which it says made it more expensive to do business. Jimmy Dean's Sausage, Ballpark Hot Dogs, and many other brands saw its earnings slump in the recent quarter, though it sees improvement in coming months. Sales of personal computers are slumping, so Dell Technologies is planning more than 6,000 job cuts, about 5% of its employees. Dell says market conditions are continuing to erode. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Democrats just want to win the next election, and they're trying to do it with ceaseless money care if the value of your retirement is sacrificed. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon. It is critical to protect your retirement right now with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. There's nothing to buy and no obligation at all. To 989898 to get a free info kit on gold.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio.
February 11th, the Disability Network of Mid-Michigan presents Feathers and Fedoras. It's a roaring 20s gala to benefit independent living programs for people with disabilities. Grab your silk top hat, your best flapper dress, and prepare to foxtrot the night away with dance music by Stone Street Revival. Find Lady Luck at the casino. Hit the speakeasy for Giggle Waters. Feathers and Fedoras. February 11th at the Doubletree in Bay City. For information and tickets, click on the Feathers and Fedoras box you'll find online at WSGW.com.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show, it's time for Spy Balloon Equity. That's right, I'm talking about critical space theory.
Camp and Robbins, weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. Back to our phones. Rick from Danny Dog Productions is with us. Rick, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Nice to chat with you.
Same here.
We had a really great weekend, and I wanted to call in and thank you personally and thank your listeners and the station, WSGW, for all the love and support. I'm sitting in the parking lot right now of the Mustard Seed, and I'm getting ready to go in and see Amy Bartels Rowe, the director, and hand her a check for $4,616.
All right. Well, say hello for me when you go in there. And I have to tell you,
I will.
I had
it was a great show. The night show sold out in the a little over 200 people. Great. The Court Street Rock, the band was just fantastic, and Donnie Brown added a bunch of new songs into the show. So if you saw it last time, it wasn't the same show.
Yeah. I had a couple of friends that were at the matinee, and they loved it. Can't wait to do it again. Can't wait to do it again.
Yep.
And they just and they're really into some of the old music, and they really thought the band was absolutely out of this world. And as fate would have it, I had to be out at the Snowfest on Sunday. I was doing some of the PA for Snowfest, and of course the band was there. And, they were just out of this world. They are so good, so tight.
Yes, they are. And like I said, they knocked it out of the park. It was excellent. And I also wanted to thank Stephanie and Tom Braley for the Court Street.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like a tornado went, but, everybody had a great time. And it's nice to fill that theater, and it's just such a great venue. There isn't a bad seat in the house. And you're up close and personal.
Well, you mentioned something, and I want to follow up on it, because the Brailleys, it's one thing to be in a community and talk about things. It's quite another to take your treasure and risk it and put it on the line to give the community something like that theater. And the Brailleys have done just that. In the same way that the Shaheens did the Temple Theater, the Braileys have done the Court Theater, and they've done it justice. And it's just a great little close-in personal venue.
Yep. Like a neighborhood theater, and turned it into a nice venue, and the sound in it is phenomenal.
It is. It is.
I don't care if you sit in the balcony or in the and of course Stone Street Revival, the Pure Aim Gold Show. They are adamant professionals, and Donnie is very, in tune with what he wants to hear, the product he puts out.
Oh, yeah.
They're just an excellent, excellent band.
I mean, they were this Sunday when I was at Snowfest. The band started showing up, I don't know, 2.5 hours early, maybe more.
Right.
Took them that long to set up with all the stuff they have.
Yeah. Well, when you have 8 players and a full horn section, it takes a little bit to.
Yeah, it did.
And they're going to be doing that Feathers and Fedoras deal that you guys are advertising. And
are they really?
Good time too.
No,
yeah,
wonderful.
They're the band. That Stone Street Revival is going to be at that. So
wow. Well, so answer me this question.
Yes.
Will we see AM Gold again?
Yes, we will.
Good. All right.
We're going to do some other stuff in between, and we will chat soon. I'm not going to.
All right, that'll work.
I'm working on some other projects for charities, and we're gonna bring some other charities in too.
Good deal.
Amy appreciates what we do, but she said, it's time to spread the love too. So I agree with.
Well, she's a sweetheart. She is really a sweetheart. All right. Yep. Well, listen, Rick. On behalf of the community,
you are Gold Art, and I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you help us out and do. So,
well, we appreciate you too.
Nice chatting with you.
Same here, Rick. Thanks a lot. Bye. Take care. Bye now. In case you missed it, what the production he was talking about, Pure AM Gold, is kind of an interesting take on playing oldies. The band Stone Street Revival, they're phenomenal. 8-piece band, absolutely out of this world. one of the tightest bands I've ever heard. And they put together this Pure AM Gold where they use a pseudo disc jockey who sits at a desk and he does typical introductions, and then they play the music, and it's all music from the the real popular days of AM, 60s, 70s, and stuff like that. And they raised money. This is the second time they've done it now. They raised money for mustard seed here in Saginaw. So if you hear it coming around again, or if you ever have a chance to see Stone Street Revival, they're phenomenal. And I mean, they've all had years and years and years of professional experience. One of the members is in the Michigan Country Hall of Fame. One of them appeared on the Tonight Show numerous times. So, I mean, these are skilled musicians out of this world. They have a website. You can find them online. Just put in Stone Street Revival, and it'll come up. Really, really good group. All right, a couple of things. This is an open line hour, so whatever you want to talk about. A couple of headlines I pulled. These are out of the Free Press. Both of these were out of the Free Press this morning. And I chuckled in a way. In a way, it's very serious, but in the State of the State message, Governor Whitmer proposes hundreds of millions of dollars for school tutors and literacy programs. And that's well and good. We need kids to be able to read and all of that. And tutoring is a good way to do it. But what really caught my attention was at the same time the governor is proposing all of these millions of dollars for tutors and literacy programs, the Michigan Senate, which is now under Democrat control, has taken steps toward ending the controversial third grade reading rule. Now, for those of you that don't know what that rule is, it was a rule that said districts were to flag poor readers in the third grade and hold them back for a year. Senate Education Committee voted 5-1 to advance legislation to repeal the retention rule. So on the one hand, she is proposing hundreds of millions of dollars for tutoring because reading is that important. And on the other hand, the Senate is proposing getting rid of the rule that would hold kids back if they can't read. And I'm just, scratching my head. I think one of the problems in education today, and I am not an educator, I am not speaking as an expert on education. I'm only speaking on behalf of myself and my opinion. I think one of the problems today is we've become too lenient in education. We pass kids regardless of whether they made the grade or not. And the farther down the line we do that, the less prepared they are for life. I see nothing wrong with holding a student back if that student has not achieved certain levels. In the long run, in the scheme of things, so to speak, it will benefit them in life. Because if education is not for teaching us life skills and the knowledge we need to go out into society and succeed, then what is it? And if we're not achieving at the level we need to, why not hold a student back? In the same way, this may seem strange to you, I don't believe in accelerating students. Now, it's going to be that rare exception, 1 in a million, where you have a genius who needs to be accelerated to keep up with his ability or her ability to learn. I understand that. But just to accelerate for the sake of it, I don't agree with either. I think students should be held back when they don't learn, But I don't believe in acceleration. Now I'm going to tell you why, and that I can speak on as an expert, not just an opinion, because I was a victim of it. I went to New York City schools, and when you were in I want to say it was the 5th grade, we had to take a battery of tests, some of which what we call IQ tests. And if you scored at a certain level on these tests, the school system pretty much talked your parents into letting you be in a special progress class. What it was, I did grades 7, 8, and 9 in 2 years. In effect, you skip the 8th grade. They cram all the work into the 2 years. You're in special classes, you have special teachers, and it's for students who demonstrated a certain IQ on the tests. Well, you say to yourself, well, gee, that's good. Well, let me tell you the problem with it. I had 2 problems. One, I started school when I was 4.5. I just made the cut. So I'm going to kindergarten at 4.5 instead of 5, 5.5, like most students were doing. So I was already a young student. Now I skip a grade and I'm graduating high school at 16 and off to college. Well, guess what? Academically, not a problem. I had already demonstrated that I could handle the academics. That's how it got me where I was. But it destroys you socially. It's an emotional nightmare. I'm at a university, literally 1,200 miles from my home. I'm a 16-year-old among 18, 19-year-olds. It was not an emotionally fun time. And life is more than just academics. Life is socialization, getting along with others, learning how to interact with others. And you are put at a great disadvantage when you're at school and you are the young one, so to speak. Take a break. We'll talk more about it. We'll get to Carol and Sheridan when we return right after these notes.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you always.
Recently, I was working with a member to purchase an auto loan and saw an opportunity to help them save some money. By refinancing their credit card debt, we were able to save them over $600 a month. This is one of the many ways that we invest to our members.
Delivering marvelous experiences, saving members money, providing personalized service, going the extra mile. That's Wildfire Credit Union. It's what we do every day. Find out for yourself. Call 800-227-2328. Click on wildfirecu.org or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you, always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. These are actual examples of savings and not guaranteed in every situation.
Cool in the Gang, March 18th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night.
Tickets start at $40 and are on sale now at the Soaring Eagle box office and etix.com. Bring in the party. Get down on Cool in the Gang, March 18th at Soaring. Party hard, throw down harder. More at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
I studied Spanish in college and never got fluent. But then I tried Babbel.
Want the most effective way to learn another language? In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons will have you learning another language in as little as 3 weeks.
Babbel is all conversation-based, so it gets you speaking quickly about things you actually talk about in the real world.
You'll really see a difference in how conversational you can be in just a few weeks.
Babbel isn't just lessons. You can listen to podcasts, play games, watch videos. You can even take live online classes with a language teacher. There are so many ways to learn with Babbel.
The lessons online and in the app make it easy to learn from pretty much anywhere.
University studies have shown that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a semester of college Spanish. If you want to learn a new language, there's no better way than Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
You are with WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, and let's go back to our phones. Carol is in Sheridan. Carol, good morning to you.
Good morning. When you were talking about education, I think a long time ago, but in the early 50s or something, people had to go like up to Stanton, like in the 7th or 8th grade or something, to see if they qualified to go to high school. And I think I have a report of my dad's that, you know, but that was something they did. Now, I don't know if they've done it all over or it was just Macomb County or whatever, but I think maybe it was statewide.
So what are you saying is you had to test to make sure you were qualified to make it into high school?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
wow.
so. Maybe some of these old folks will remember. It was just Michigan or whatever, but it was quite interesting, and I think it was everything, you know, like math and, you know, general stuff. Mm-hmm. And another thing I called you about, we went to the show, A Man Called Otto last night.
Oh, did you? It's at the
yesterday afternoon.
Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah, and we were really, really lucky around here because we have a little theater in Crystal, and the matinee is $3.
Oh, wow.
And it's $5. So it's always $5 in the evening. And there's if they can look it up online and see, it's called the Crystal Box Office.
Mm-hmm.
But people come quite a ways to go. The popcorn's lovely. The theater's lovely. They fixed it up really nice. But it was a really, really nice show. There was no swearing in it. There didn't have to be. And it was just a really cool, nice. I hope it wins some awards because it's hard to find something that is, but it wasn't really sappy either. It was just a well done. But then I come home. And I always kind of like to see that, not like you, I like to see what's going on in like the Emmys and the Academy Awards and stuff, and just to see if their dress is going to hold up. And, and, you know, and know what they're talking about. And it was so awful. I just had to turn it. I mean, music, I had an old buddy and he said, well, it's just noise because he liked all the old opera and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, it was worse than noise.
I wouldn't know. I didn't see any of it.
Well, you did. No, if people, I don't know if they feel the way I do about music, because I like country music very well, and anything good. But I'm telling you, you couldn't. They had a tribute to Loretta Lynn and a gal sang Coal Miner's Daughter. And other than that, it was. Yeah. But, I don't know if our music is coming to this.
Well, you got to remember this, Carol. Every generation thinks their music is better than the last generation, and the last generation thinks their music is terrible for the new generation.
Well, it ain't.
I'm not into those award shows.
It was interesting from a really good show to a really bad show.
Well, at least you had the good one. That's good news. All right.
It is. If people get a chance to see it, it's really decent. It's really fun.
Oh, we'll have to look for it. Very good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys take care.
Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Pat too. Bye-bye.
Carol
I like
and Sheridan. Yeah. Carol and Sheridan, and we thank her for calling. She's the second person that told me about that movie. Friends of ours went to see it the other day and loved it. So you can't go wrong with Tom Hanks, can you? I guess not. All right, we'll take a break. Come back. Lines open for you, whatever you want to chat about.
Let me tell you about the Lumberjack Restaurant of West Branch. Are you looking for a place that will satisfy the food cravings of the entire family? Well, look no further. At the Lumberjack, you're sure to enjoy the food and company, all while getting a pure up-north dining experience. With an array of entrees, burgers, omelets, desserts, and more, it's a sure thing that there's something for everyone. The homestyle cooking is sure to have you coming up north to the Lumberjack Restaurant of West Branch, exit 212, I-75.
If you're a sugar beet grower or industry professional, here's exciting news. Michigan Sugar Company will be having a first ever Sugar Beet Summit on Thursday, February 9th at SVSU's Curtis Hall. Several speakers will talk on a variety of topics involving production agriculture and operating the family farm now and in the future. Keynote speakers will be Dr. Corey Guzza and in-life meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. This event is free and lunch will be provided. Register today at michigansugar.com and click on the registration link.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is from the Highway Brewing Company in West Branch. You're going to get a $20 gift certificate for only $10. The Highway Brewing Company has 6 flagship brews and rotating seasonal offerings, all brewed on site. They also offer a carefully curated cocktail menu. Michigan Spirits. Head over to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why do I like to work at Alpha Media Saginaw? Endless opportunities. Fun work environment. Flexible schedules. Alpha Media Saginaw is expanding their marketing department and looking for the right team player to continue to help local businesses grow through on-air and digital campaigns. We offer flexible schedules, full benefits, and paid holidays. If you have a passion for sales and love building relationships in the community, contact General Sales Manager Carrie Gustafson at 989-752-3456 or apply online at alphamediausa.com/careers.
Alpha Media is an EEO employer.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can't. Symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is a firm that practices family law exclusively. We focus on only one area of the law to maximize our strength and effectiveness as advocates for clients that have everything on the line: their homes, retirement, savings, and most importantly, their children. We're the partner our clients count on. If we can be of help to you, give us a call.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
The WSGW Morning Team.
WSGW Online poll, the gun reforms in Michigan. In Governor Whitmer's recent State of the State address, she did outline the policies regarding firearms. The governor said lawmakers should enact universal background check requirements for people who want to buy firearms. Wants to create a safe storage standard for guns at home and pass extreme risk protection orders. The red flag.
And I want to be very clear. I'm not talking about law-abiding citizens, hunters, and responsible gun owners from both sides of the aisle. No, we need to get these common sense safety proposals across the finish line.
Poll question for you is this: what gun reforms would you support or not support? Your answer choices are based on the 3 proposals that the governor referenced. And we've given you a chance to say you support them all, or you don't support any, or a combination of the 3. Vote by going to WSW.com and scroll down the homepage and find the poll box.
Your morning team, Charlie, Denise, and Pat, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. Open phones for the remainder of the hour. We'll have some next hour after our initial guest. I talked about this story last week. I mentioned it, that there was a proposal floating around Washington that has now been introduced for a national sales tax in lieu of income tax, in lieu of payroll tax. And it was set at 23%. That's the amount that the bill specifies. And I said at the time, maybe there is, and a fair tax, it's called fair tax. It's been around a long time. proposals for a variety of fair taxes, from a flat tax to a fair tax sales tax. The problem is they tend to creep. You say, okay, yeah, we'll do 23%, get rid of everything. And the next thing you know, somebody says, well, it's not enough. Maybe we'll make it 26%. Well, this one hasn't even been passed yet, and they're already touting the fact that it's higher than 23%. The legislation would be 23%. But because of the way it's written, both taxable property and services combined with the federal taxes is closer to 30%. So by the time you paid all your taxes, everybody would be in a 30% tax bracket, which of course you're not now. Most people don't get even near close to 30%. So in the long run, yeah, it would probably raise more money for the government. The question is, how does the government account for low income and those that can't afford it, that aren't paying any tax now? Well, the answer is everyone would receive a monthly sales tax rebate, or what they call a family consumption allowance, based on certain guidelines in terms of family size and income, poverty. The other thing this bill does is it eliminates the IRS after 2027. Well, first of all, let's understand this bill is dead on arrival. It's, it may pass the House because if the Republicans want it, they'll pass it. It will never pass the Senate, and it will never get the signature of the president. Let's be honest. Let's be realistic. It's okay to introduce it. It's okay to start a national discussion on it. That's fine. But the reality is it's not going to happen. At the same time, one must ask, is there a better way than the system we have now? There probably is. I'm not smart enough to know what it is, but there probably is. But for now, anyway, that's what will be discussed in Washington. Goes in as a 23%, but because of the way it's structured and how it taxes property as well as consumption, it's closer to 30%, and they haven't even signed it into law. I mean, it hasn't even hit the table yet, and it's already up to 30%. I'd like to know what the real number is. How much money does the federal government need? Particularly if they weren't spending like drunken sailors. What is the actual need of the federal government? This comes at a time, of course, when they're in the throes now of trying to negotiate a settlement for the debt ceiling, because they've spent like drunken sailors and they have to raise the debt ceiling again. It goes on and on and on. And by the way, this is not just a Democrat versus Republican, Republican versus Democrat issue. They both spend. Typically we've always thought of Democrats as the spenders and Republicans not. And that the Democrats want higher taxes and the Republicans want lower taxes. Well, the latter part is probably true in terms of taxation, but the first part definitely is not, because both Republicans and Democrats have learned how to spend us into a hole. And that's too bad. The last time we had a balanced budget, I think, was under Bill Clinton. But unfortunately, that balanced budget was based on sort of a false bubble. That was the tech industry, and which you'll remember not too long afterwards fell apart and crashed. And so went the balanced budget, if you will. But the last time I remember a balanced budget, and a balanced budget means what? It means you don't spend more than you take in, was under Bill Clinton. Will we see another one of these days? Oh, everything is possible. Nothing's impossible. But the way they're spending right now, I don't see how they're going to do it. I truly don't see how they're going to do it. The Republicans are going to try and negotiate a deal with the president so that there are spending cuts if they agree to raise the debt ceiling. The bottom line is no matter what the negotiation does or doesn't do, they are going to raise the debt ceiling because it would be an absolute calamity if they didn't. Financially, for all of us, for the world economy, it just can't happen. That's unfortunate. Sometimes I wish it would happen. But the world is so intertwined right now in everybody else's finances, if you will. When the reserve currency country faults on its loans, that's big trouble. All right, we're going to end the hour and come back with the next one. We'll tell you about it.
Superior Insurance Group, Next Door Trader, and MDL Companies bring to you the second annual Rat Pack Gala. We invite you Saturday, February 18th to get your tux and petticoats out. Here, step back in time with the Summit Tribute Group, Deke's Paradise Casino, a 17-piece orchestra, and the Rat Pack. Enjoy an evening out with dinner, casino, and a show. This formal fundraiser will be one to remember. Entire ticket proceeds to benefit Leaders for America that focus on strengthening the leadership culture across the nation. Leaders for America will be investing in the young people in Bay County, creating a culture of personal and community growth. Dance the night away with Marilyn Monroe, Sinatra, Martin, and Davis. Cash bar, casino, and dinner from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m., followed by the big show from 8 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. Join us Saturday, February 18th for good food, great entertainment, and most important, a good cause. Visit the ratpackgala.live for your tickets today.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks. And how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your framework with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
Are you looking for a place that will satisfy the food cravings of the entire family? Look no further. The Lumberjack Restaurant of West Branch will do check. You're sure to enjoy the food and company, all while getting a pure up-north dining experience. The home-style cooking is sure to have you coming back for more. With an array of entrees, burgers, omelets, desserts, and more, it's certain that there's something for everyone to love. So head up north to the Lumberjack Restaurant of West Branch, exit 212, I-75.
All right, that'll do it for this hour of the Art Lewis Show. We will be back with more right after the news.
From the Free Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The death toll is rising quickly after a massive earthquake near the Turkish-Syrian border this morning. More than 2,300 have been killed. Mohammed al-Shamar felt tremors more than 180 miles away in Beirut.
I was writing something, and then just all of a sudden, the entire building started shaking.
Correspondent Imtiaz Tayab.
Some people, still trapped under the rubble, are posting videos of themselves on social media begging for help. The early morning 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck as most people slept. Since then, there have been dozens of aftershocks, the most recent and strongest measuring 7.5.
Secretary of State Blinken Humanitarian organizations in Turkey and Syria are already responding. Communities in eastern Ohio are under mandatory evacuation orders. Officials are worried the toxic chemicals aboard a train that derailed Friday will explode. East Palestine Fire Chief Keith Drabick.
This catastrophic failure will, if it occurs, it will produce hydrogen chloride and phosgene gas into the atmosphere. We need you to leave now.
He says projectiles could hit a mile away. Beijing is once again criticizing the U.S. for shooting down a suspected spy balloon. Correspondent Nancy Cordes is in Washington.
The Chinese accused the U.S. of an indiscriminate use of force, even as some of the president's critics argue he wasn't forceful enough.
Beijing is urging Washington to show restraint as the military searches the water off South Carolina for remnants of the balloon. Inflation's caught up with most things, but car insurance had been spared until now. Has analyzed the numbers.
Between 2022 and 2023, we saw just under a 14% increase. So it was pretty significant.
History made at the Grammys on CBS.
It's Renaissance, Beyonce.
Big night for Beyonce, who now holds the record for most Grammy wins ever. She held back tears while accepting Best Dance Album for Renaissance.
I'd like to thank the queer community for your love and for inventing this genre.
Lizzo snags Record of the Year.
I wanted to make the world a better place, so I had to be that change to make the world a better place.
Best New Artist went to jazz singer Samira Joy, and Harry Styles wins Album of the Year for Harry's House.
This doesn't happen to people like me very often, and this is so nice. Thank you very, very much.
Monica Ricks, CBS News. Disappointment for a top American on the opening day of the World Skiing Championships. Michaela Schifrin was close to beating Italy's Federica Brignone when she skied out after Schifrin's first major event since she failed to medal at last year's Beijing Olympics. Dow down 151. This is CBS News.
You want to go someplace new?
Liberty Bridge is your gateway to work, school, downtown, and the Midland Street Business District. Enjoy all the benefits of Liberty Bridge for free until April. Save time and fuel by taking the most convenient route to your destination. Avoid congestion at other local bridges and experience Bay City's newest, most reliable bridge. Brought to you by local union workers and Bay City Bridge Partners. For your passport to the lowest rates once tolling begins, get your BC Pass before April at BayCityBridgePartners.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out all of our half-off deals going on right now from Applied Training Solutions, Daylight Outfitters, Super Cute, Salon Blue, The Bubble, and Style Encore. All of these deals are half off. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now and snag your deal before they sell out.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Is your prostate secretly being destroyed without you knowing it? All the ads for these prostate pills like Super Beta Prostate, Saw Palmetto, ProstaStream, Prostagenics, and others. Want to know which pills work and which are garbage? Now you can. Get a free copy of the new guide, Prostate Secrets, that pulls back the curtain on the prostate pill industry. Learn what is really in these pills. Which pill has over 987 adverse event reports filed against it with the FDA? It's shocking. Learn the one food to avoid that is a prostate killer, and discover the 3 so-called health foods that destroy your prostate. Get your free copy at prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery. 5 important things to do, and much more. Warning, this guide is controversial and may be offensive to some readers as it pulls no punches. So go to prostatesecrets.com. Prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 25 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. Police are investigating a Friday crash in Mount Pleasant that left one man dead and a woman injured. The crash occurred around 3:30 p.m. when an 80-year-old driving a Chevy Impala failed to yield at a stop sign at the intersection of Sweeney and Broomfield Streets. She and her passenger, a 92-year-old man, were taken to a local hospital. The woman was listed in critical condition. The man died of his injuries. The 61-year-old man and a 61-year-old woman in the Ford pickup that struck the vehicle were not hurt in the crash, which is under investigation. Saginaw Township Police are investigating after an altercation following the boys' basketball game at Heritage High School. On Friday night, Heritage hosted Arthur Hill, and the altercation apparently happened afterward. Community Schools released a statement saying the incident did not involve Heritage students or parents, and there were no weapons involved. In a Facebook post, the district thanked the police department and families who helped defuse the situation. Police are continuing their investigation. U.S. Congressman Dan Kildee has received the Eugene J. Hamilton Political Advocacy Award for his work to bring Republicans and Democrats together in Congress to solve problems and deliver for Mid-Michigan, including by supporting SVSU. Kildee accepted the award, which was also awarded to Congressman John Molinar, and made remarks Friday in Bay City. The award is given annually to individuals who've contributed to SVSU within the halls of government. This year, Kildee has introduced over 10 bipartisan bills. In August 2022, he secured federal funding to support the retention and graduation of SVSU students. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
Hi, this is Jessica, and we're where you are. These are more than just words in our jingle. At United Financial Credit Union, we are here for you with our full range of digital products.
Hi, Art, how are you?
Anywhere you go. Open your new account today, and you could win a $500 gas card. From youth accounts to retirement accounts to businesses with all of your financial needs. Not a member? Why not? It's never been easier to open an account. And for a limited time, you can be entered to win a $500 gas card. It's time for you to check out your local friendly credit union and see how we will put you first.
Must meet eligibility requirements, federally insured by the NCUA.
We're where you work, where you live. United Financial Credit Union. Serving the Black community.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. Coming up, former Grand Rapids police officer Christopher Schur will stand trial for murder in the shooting death of black motorist Patrick Leoya. But even though the trial is expected to begin in March, legal experts don't expect that to happen. Kent County Circuit Court Judge Christina Elmore denied a defense motion to throw out the second-degree murder charge last Friday, and Schur's attorneys plan to appeal to the Michigan Court of Appeals. A criminal trial attorney in Kalamazoo, Ceresa Montague, says the appeal could delay a trial significantly, possibly by several months. The Michigan State Police leave pending investigation into a deadly officer-involved shooting. Michigan News Network's Chris Kaiser has this.
Police say a trooper and cadet from the Michigan State Police Houghton Lake Post responded to a vehicle in the ditch on I-75 that had apparently driven off the road. Early investigation suggests the trooper made contact with the driver and believed him to be intoxicated. The trooper eventually fired his weapon, killing the man. It happened Friday night near Grayling, north of the West Federal High exit into Beaver Creek Township. The victim was identified as 48-year-old David Stockton of Tawas. Stockton was pronounced dead at the scene. The trooper was not hurt.
If you're planning to buy a car in the near price of the car be higher than that you're used to, but it could be more difficult to get a loan to finance that car. Delinquencies have been rising, and so have car repossessions. Citizens Financial Group is cutting back its auto loan business. They're concerned about the possibility of a recession and the rising number of people who are already having trouble making payments. Cox Automotive says the number of car loans at 60 days late jumped more than 30% last fall. WSGW News Time, 10:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology for sunshine develops here for today with a high in the mid-30s. Winds out of the northwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, a chance for rain showers here late. Mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures fall early, then slowly rise overnight. Tuesday, a chance for rain early. Cloudy, high of 44 degrees. Then by Wednesday, mostly sunny and a high around 41. Thursday, a chance for rain showers. Cloudy, high of 42 degrees. Then by Friday, cloudy, high of 37. Saturday, mostly sunny skies. We'll see high of 30. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 25.
The only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Indeed, we are Westside Decorating Center at 5789 State Street with their newly expanded showroom and everything for your home decorating needs. Well, I've known his dad for a long time, and now we get to say hello to the offspring, and he is now a state representative, and we say hello to Representative Bill Schuette. Good morning, Bill.
Hey, Art, thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate being here with you. I am a longtime listener. In fact, when other kids in middle school would listen to, rock on the way to school, I would listen to the Art Lewis Show in the morning team. So I'm really fortunate to be here with you today.
Well, we're glad to have you. I have to ask, your dad had a great saying, Bill Schuette on duty. Have you stolen it?
I think that there are a couple of things. Pouring coffee and Bill Schuette on duty. I think those are a couple of things that can be multi-generational. We'll say that.
That's good. Have you always wanted to be in politics? I mean, your dad, has been in politics almost all his life, but have you always wanted to be in politics?
That's a good question, Art. Public service has always been something that's important to me. My grandfather was a World War II fighter pilot, POW, Purple Heart, and I knew I always wanted to serve my country, serve my community. Initially, for me, that was working as an intelligence officer with the Department of Defense. I was a civilian based in our nation's capital, sent down to Mexico in support of our counter-terror or counter-drug missions, and then deployed by the Defense Intelligence Agency to the Middle East in support of our counter-terror missions over there. So I really, those were, public service, something I always cared about, and I'm grateful now for the opportunity to manifest my desire for public service back here at home.
So now you're in the house in Lansing. Were there any surprises when you got there?
I think you learn something new every day. I think perhaps the biggest surprise for me is I think we all have this idea of the House of Representatives, and it's going to be some time where we're all sitting in our chairs, listening very thoughtfully to the speakers. And what it really seems, it's Tony Stamas, who is a former state representative from Midland and current head of the Midland Business Alliance, described it to me as kind of like my big fat Greek wedding. Everybody's talking, shouting, moving this way or that. So there isn't the same order. That doesn't make the work we do any less important. It's just a balancing act to sort of be heard and make your impact.
All right. So you go to Lansing. What are the Bill Schuette priorities? What do you?
I think, you look at our state budget right now, we have more than a $9 billion, that's billion with a B, dollar surplus in our state budget right now. And my priority is returning financial relief to Michiganders. And, inflation, whether it's the price of eggs, the price of milk, everything at the grocery store is going up and up. We need to look at ways to return money back to the pocketbooks of hardworking Michiganders. I think that, a couple of the initial things that I worked on when I was in Lansing, been in Lansing, expanding their income tax credit, maintaining that income tax trigger that is going to come. Those are really tangible ways that we can put money back in the pocketbooks of hardworking Michiganders. I want to make sure, number two, that kids are receiving the education that they need, that parents are in charge of their child's education. I think, again, taking the surplus and making sure that we're giving tutoring grants to parents to be able to make sure kids make up for a learning loss that was suffered during COVID-19. And then right here at home in the Great Lakes Bay Area, we need to build flood reduction infrastructure. We've had devastating flood in 2017 and 2020. We had one back in 1986 before I was even a good idea. We need to make sure that we solve this problem for good, and we can do that with building flood reduction infrastructure.
All right. So of all those things that you just went through, how many of them do you realistically see as bipartisan?
Yeah, I think the earned income tax credit is a great example of something that is bipartisan. It got 100 votes in the floor of the House of Representatives. That's something that was an idea that Governor Whitmer talked about in her State of the State, and Ronald Reagan described once as the best idea to come out of the federal government. So that is a really tangible bipartisan project. Another one, flood reduction infrastructure. I've had great conversations with the state senator who represents Midland from the other side of the aisle, Kristen McDonald-Rivet, and she's also indicated that this is a priority for her as well. So there really is a lot that we can do, Art, that is bipartisan issues that can be done by both Republicans and Democrats working together.
And I noticed the governor you mentioned tutoring. She's proposing spending a ton of money on that. Something you agree with?
The devil is always in the details. I want to make sure that we're giving money to parents to empower parents to make the decisions, because I don't believe anybody cares more about their child than their parents. So let's make sure that we're giving the resources to parents to connect them with the resources they then think is best to help their student and their child learn.
She's proposed something, $300 million for something called MI Kids Back on Track tutoring program. Now, does that include money to parents, or is that the state telling us how we're going to do things?
Again, I'll need to look at the exact details. I can tell you the bill that I've proposed and is introduced and on the floor of the House of Representatives in front of the Education Committee right now would be just that is making sure that parents, especially those kids who have been hit the hardest by the devastating COVID-19 school shutdowns, the kids whose learning levels just dropped and our reading levels continue to underperform, it would be giving those parents and the resources to get their kids with the after school tutoring programs they need to get back on track and get ahead. And this doesn't have to, again, be a partisan issue. I think everybody wants our children to learn, and I'm ready to work with anyone to make it happen.
At the same time, and I had mentioned this last hour, at the same time, the Senate committee has voted 5-1 to repeal the third grade reading law that was enacted a number of years ago, requiring students that don't achieve to be held back for a year. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I'm opposed to that, Art. Again, I think that our solution should not be to repeal the requirement. We're failing our children right now. We should not, make the solution to repeal this law. Our solution to be instead, why are our children failing this third grade reading test? Let's look for solutions. That's why I think tutoring programs like I'm working with my colleagues in the House on that's the way, the path forward. Repealing the third grade literacy law, I do not think is the right approach.
All right, I'm going to take a break, Bill. We'll come back. We're talking to Representative Bill Schuette, and we will talk more with him after these notes on the Art Lewis Show.
There's going to be one day this winter. The temperature will be 10 below. A 45-mile-an-hour wind with blinding snow is making it seem like 50 below. Is your garage door going to be ready for that day? Call M&R Garage Door now. M&R can service your existing garage door and opener, both residential and industrial. Or M&R can install a Clopay insulated garage door to keep your home warm. Sure, your garage door is ready for that day and every other day this winter. Call M&R Garage Door, 894-0971, where service is their specialty.
I studied Spanish in college and never got fluent, but then I tried Babbel.
Want the most effective way to learn another language? In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons will have you learning another language in as little as 3 weeks.
Babbel is all conversation-based, so it gets you speaking quickly about things you actually talk about in the real world.
You'll really see a difference in how you can speak and how conversational you can be in just a few weeks.
Babbel isn't just lessons. You can listen to podcasts, games, watch videos. You can even take live online classes with a language teacher. There are so many ways to learn with Babbel.
The lessons online and in the app make it easy to learn from pretty much anywhere. University studies have shown that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a semester of college Spanish. If you want to learn a new language, there's no better way than Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. And anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
More earnings news today, and it's coming in mixed. Cummins, the engine company, just reported better than expected sales in its recent quarter. It's providing an upbeat outlook. Kids clothing chain Children's Place, though, is predicting a surprise large loss. It blames the slowing economy and high cotton transport and container costs, which it says made it more expensive to do business. Tyson Foods, which also makes Jimmy Dean's sausage, ballpark hot dogs, and many other brands, saw its quarter, though it sees improvement in coming months. Sales of personal computers are slumping, so Dell Technologies is planning more than 6,000 job cuts, about 5% of its employees. Dell says market conditions are continuing to erode. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Democrats just want to win the next election, and they're trying to do it with ceaseless money printing. They do not care if the value of your retirement is sacrificed. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon. It is critical to protect your retirement right now with a gold IRA. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. There's nothing to buy and no obligation at all. Text the word SHELTER to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See information. Subscription required.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation and discreet shipping if prescribed. You'll love your results. To start your free online visit, go to 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMS.com/JOY.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show, it's time for Spy Balloon Equity. That's right, I'm talking about critical space theory.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. I'm Art Lewis, and with us this morning is State Representative Bill Schuette. Bill, we had a caller ask, and I'll read it exactly as it was phrased to me. If there's a $9 billion surplus, why aren't we repealing taxes on pensions?
Yeah. First off, appreciate the question. Secondly, I voted in my first month as a state legislator to repeal the so-called pension tax, which really is increasing the amount of retirement income from pensions that is subject to the state income tax, because I'm in favor of lower taxes for everybody. Now, there was a plan proposed by the House Republicans that unfortunately didn't get considered by the full House of Representatives that would have made that exemption on retirement income much larger for Michiganders all over our state and for seniors in general, anyone over the age of 62. The Democrat plan is much more narrow. It's primarily directed at public pensions and large private pensions. So I much preferred the Republican pension cut tax plan, which was for all seniors and all retirees and much broader. But again, I think any type of cutting taxes is better than none. So I was happy to support that legislation.
Do you see it coming back to the table and expanding at all? Under the
again, I hope so. When we're sitting on $9 billion, our priority really needs to be, one, putting more of your money back in your wallet, back in your pocket. This is taxpayer dollars. These are taxpayer dollars. These are taxpayer resources. That needs to be our number one priority. This is also one-time money. So another priority needs to be select transformational infrastructure investments that have a high return on investment. I mentioned one close to home that with our flood reduction infrastructure project here in Midland and in the Great Lakes Bay region, which I think would do just that.
So let's talk about roads, because that was one of the governor's favorite topics forever.
Yes, yes.
Is some of that money going to be used for that?
Again, I think select infrastructure investments, including upgrades to our roads and our bridges, our dams, those are ways to be spent. And I certainly hope that we fix the darn roads. I don't use the same language as the governor, because I think my mother would, and my grandmother in her grave would be upset. So, you know, but we definitely need to make sure we're making select investments there, in fixing our bridges is one way to do that, and roads as well.
So, I mean, we have this money, and the state budgets for the last 2 years have reflected a lot of that federal money. How do we get back to realism when that money dries up and goes away?
Yeah, and again, this is why a priority for me is cutting taxes, because the government never sees a dollar that they don't want to spend, right? So I think that's why it's incredibly important that we're adopting a fiscally responsible approach, making sure that we're looking at ways to return money back to the pocketbooks of Michiganders, because they're the ones who know how to spend the money best, and their dollar goes a lot farther than a dollar spent by the state government or the federal government. So when we make our priority, our guiding light, that fiscal responsibility, I think that can return us back to normal, because let's face it, the reckless spending in Washington is part of the reason we're dealing with inflation here at home right now.
So, you know, this is the first time in many, many, many years that the Republicans find themselves in the minority, both in the House and in the Senate. Is it reasonable to think you're going to get any of your priorities through the House?
Well, again, I think there's going to be areas where we can work together on areas like the earned income tax credit, hopefully on areas like flood reduction infrastructure. And then there's other areas where it's going to be the job of my colleagues and myself to hold the Democrats in Lansing accountable. And I had a football coach over at Dow High who always told me a hungry dog hunts a little bit harder. And I would hope that we get a message and a wake-up call that if we want to get priorities like fiscal conservatism, like really through the legislature and get Republican priorities back on track, we need to win in 2024 and onward.
So you get to Lansing, you're in the minority, you meet your cross-aisle colleagues. As is typical, it's a lot to do with human relationships. Have you found some that you really feel you can work with?
Absolutely. I think, that's something that is often lost in our current politics. And I knocked on about 13,000 doors with my team when I ran for state representative. And one thing I would often tell people when they ask me to be bipartisan is I said, I'm not going to agree with you on everything. You're not going to agree with me on everything. I don't agree with the other guy named Bill Schuette on everything. But what we can do is we can agree to. He does, and we have some very very good conversations about those things. But it's important that we can disagree without being disagreeable, and assume that other people have good intent and go in with that. And again, with a lot of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, we have fundamental disagreements on policy. We can still be respectful and look to find ways where we can work together to move our state forward.
So let's just for a moment talk about redistricting and what it did to your district, which you've now inherited. Mm-hmm. What is your district like now? What do you cover?
Yeah, so unfortunately, the city of Midland and the state Senate and congressional was carved out from the rest of the county. I think the redistricting commission decided then to keep Midland County together on a state house level. So the state house district that I represent, the 95th district, actually makes a great deal of sense. It's all of Midland County, and then Beaverton, Billings, and Tobacco townships in Gladwin County, and the city of Beaverton in Gladwin County. So it's a district that has a lot of common interests, whether it's flood reduction, broadband, keeps the county of Midland whole. So the state representative district, the state house district makes sense. Some of the other districts are a little bit more wonky.
Yeah, you got lucky, actually. You have almost a cohesive district. Let's talk about broadband. You mentioned broadband. Where are we in providing broadband service across the state? I think we all learned during the pandemic the weaknesses. How are we doing to fix them?
Absolutely. Broadband is an absolutely essential utility in the 21st century. And there is, again, a lot of federal resources that are coming out to do that. I know the Midland Business Alliance is working on an accurate broadband map of the county and working with other groups like the Gladwin Chamber to determine that in areas of Gladwin as well, to make sure exactly where do we have good reception, where don't we have good reception. That can help us then get some of those dollars going after the right areas. But on the state level, an idea that I'm working on with some of my colleagues is eliminating the personal property tax on eligible broadband equipment. So that way, if there are companies that want to invest in broadband, on getting broadband out to these rural communities, they're not having to pay, again, that personal property tax on top of that. That's not incentivizing them to get this new technology, to get this upgraded infrastructure out there. So that's a common sense idea that I'm working on. And I will, again, work with colleagues either side of the aisle to make it happen.
Well, both sides have talked about it.
Exactly. So let's work on it.
It's on both lists of things to do, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So the overall picture of the state in terms of the state's economic health, how do you rate it?
Again, I go to the grocery store, I'm knocking on doors in Coleman or in Beaverton, and I hear from folks about how the price of gas, the price of groceries, they're all going up and up, and that's making it very difficult for people to make ends meet. So you see a state, from a statewide perspective, you see the government sitting on $9 billion, and then you see a lot of your folks at, whether it's Family Fare or your Shell gas station, really feeling the pinch. That is a discrepancy. So we, again, need to make sure that we're directing all our resources to giving people the financial relief that they need right now.
Well, Bill, listen, I want to thank you for taking time to visit with us this morning. Give my regards to your dad. I owe him lunch. And we'll chat with you again down the road.
Sounds good, Art. I really appreciate being on the show.
Glad to have you with us. Thanks a lot, and congratulations on your victory.
Thank you.
State Representative Bill Schuette, and we thank him for being with us on this February 6th. We'll take a break, come back, and we will have open phones for the remainder of the hour here on WSGW. In this day and age, we're asked to do more for less, so when you go to bed, and theoretically you spend a third of your life there, you really need quality sleep, and you can get that with a mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, they've been making custom mattresses since 1935. Rest assured, the Sanitary Mattress you're sleeping on was made right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Further, the money you spend stays right here in the local economy. In addition, Sanitary Mattress offers 1-hour delivery of your mattress, so you don't have to wait around all day. Sanitary Mattress can also make a custom mattress for your RV or boat, something the box stores can't do. So the next time you're in the need of a mattress, think of Sanitary Mattress. Put them in your GPS at 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, or call them at 989-753-1757. Check them on the web at sanitarymattress.com. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Sanitary Mattress Company, where you'll find everything from a crib to a king and everything in between.
You have a family doctor. Do you have a family plumber? When you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling problem happen in your home or business, you need to be able to call a professional that you can rely on and trust to make the repair or equipment replacement. Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has been the professional homeowners and businesses trust for 65 years. Whether you're looking for an emergency water heater replacement or planning a new heating system installation, you can trust Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning to provide quality service and installation. Reamer has the equipment to fit every budget, experienced estimators, and state-licensed technicians to install. Trust a professional to do the job right. Call Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Visit them on the web at reamerplumbing.com.
Any way you spell it, Reamer means quality.
When you're up in your sprayer, working your soybean in front of you so you don't roll into a ditch, to your sides to see how the boom is doing. Over at your monitors, down at your phone, probably all those places. But there's one more place you should look. Straight ahead into the future. Because how you're farming now will affect how you're able to farm over the next few seasons. If you're only using one side of action, weeds will only become more and more resistant to your That's why, if you've made the smart decision to plant Enlist E3 soybeans, don't stop there. Protect them with Enlist herbicides. Their superior tank mix flexibility easily allows for multiple sites of action. Together, you're able to better protect your soybeans and manage resistance beyond this season. Visit Enlist.com to see what a better weed control system can bring to your fields, now and tomorrow.
Why do I like to work at Alpha Media Saginaw? Endless opportunities. Schedules. Alpha Media Saginaw is expanding their marketing department and looking for the right team player to continue to help local businesses grow through on-air and digital campaigns. We offer flexible schedules, full benefits, and paid holidays. If you have a passion for sales and love building relationships in the community, contact General Sales Manager Carrie Gustafson at 989-752-3456 or apply online at alphamediausa.com/careers.
Alpha Media is an EEO employer.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on Rocket Grab Plus. Highway Brewing Company in West Branch. You're going to get a $20 gift certificate for only $10. The Highway Brewing Company has 6 flagship brews and rotating seasonal offerings, all brewed on site. They also offer a carefully curated cocktail menu that highlights Michigan spirits. Head over to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
The WSGW Morning.
Winter has finally arrived.
Yeah, how about that?
It took all of January, but this is what we wanted.
Well, who wanted this? Who?
I promise you there are
I was enjoying it.
There are many people who are just now, it's like finally they can do some stuff around here winter. They don't have to go north.
Denise, I was tired of looking at
That's true. Tired of looking at
mud
gray.
and just,
I know.
It was nice seeing my dog frolic in the snow in the backyard.
Is there any dog that doesn't like the snow?
Yeah,
I'm sure
there are some.
But
yes.
My dog laid out. He's fairly big, and he was laying in that snow just like, I'm home.
Come on out and join me.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Thanks anyway.
And Charlie, with the cold weather, you got your ice rink back, right?
Finally, been waiting for it. It's been a puddle of water for the past month.
Charlie, Denise, and Pat, your morning team. 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. News coverage.
The beating of Tyree Nichols, the debt ceiling. New moment in the battle against COVID.
Ice storm, coldest air of the seasons.
News. Interest rates, inflation.
U.S. economy adding 517,000 jobs last month.
News.
I'm retiring for good.
The U.S. has shot down a Chinese spy balloon.
And I commend
the telegraphed weakness to Xi and the Chinese government.
News coverage.
6 more weeks of winter.
On WSGW. Broadcasting from the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios. This is WSGW.
All right. It's open phones for the remainder of the hour. 989-752-6111 is the number to join the conversation here on WSGW. And it would be nice to hear from you, whatever you want to talk about. I want to spend a minute talking about the balloon incident. Yes, we finally shot down the balloon over territorial waters off the coast of South Carolina. The Chinese spy balloon that we allowed to float over the United States for the entire time. Now, before we get too critical about the fact that we didn't shoot the balloon down the minute it entered U.S. airspace like we probably should have, understand this is not the first time. There have been other transgressions with these balloons. A couple of them in the Trump administration who did nothing. And the Pentagon didn't want to talk about them until now, but they almost had to talk about this one. And it also points out a couple of things. It points out the lack of communication, good communication, between the United States and China. Many, many years ago, there was a collision of 2 aircraft, a Chinese and an American aircraft, 20 some odd years ago, something like that. And each side promised to have clear and open lines of communication for times when these kinds of incidents happen. Well, apparently, at least not that we know of, didn't seem to work very well. Chinese, of course, are claiming this is just a weather balloon and just got off course, which is more than likely a load of hooey. The American government, U.S. government, said that it did end the capability of them to gather intelligence with the unit, whatever it is. And now, of course, they are clamoring to recover the high-tech guts of this balloon, which lies in some 47 feet of water, which is a big advantage, by the way. They don't have to go down, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet or more in the ocean. So they just need to find it, bring it back, and then reverse engineer it to see what it learned and how it learned it. But the fact that the balloon was allowed to traverse the entire country, personally, I find troubling. I mean, what does that mean? They could send up a balloon, which, by the way, had some kind of directional control, and they could send up a balloon, and without us knowing it, they could attach, for example, a dirty bomb and drop it? How do we know that? How do we not know that? When something, if we had done this to the Chinese, now let's face it, all the superpowers spy on each other. We all have ways to do it. And now it's become very sophisticated with satellites, which raises the question, why do the Chinese even need the balloon? But we all do it. And if the United States had tried to overfly China with a balloon like that, do you really think they'd let it traverse the entire country? Heck no, they'd make a world show out of bringing it down. So I really think that hesitation was not good. Sean is in Bay City. So let's talk to Sean first this morning. Hi, Sean. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Need to comment about the kids in school when they're not able to do what they need to do. People out there with kids, I'm talking to you. That's sick, and it's cruel, and it's disgusting. How's little Johnny going to feel when he can't read and all his friends can? How's he going to get treated?
Yep.
It's disgusting. It is disgusting. And here's the kicker. You took away kids' schools. You took it away for 2 years, all based on, the truth is, we all know it, all based on some pretty much gibberish-wide bullcrap. It cost us money, and now you want to use the money that you cost us, that you took away from us, to have to fix the problem. Disgusting is the word that comes to mind. It's gross what they're doing. This is horrible. But hey, they're only in third grade. I suppose letting them cut off their leg and then punch out their eye because they wanted to be a pirate's okay too, right? Because that's what they thought they wanted to be. This is the world we're living in, Art, and it's disgusting. It needs to stop. If you care about kids, don't let them go on. That's not the way you do it, because
that's listen, kid. You're preaching to the choir for me. I'm in agreement. I just to me, that's a fundamental learning measure. And if you can't read, you're going to have a tough time in life.
If you don't think it matters who you vote for, people out there, if you don't think it matters that you vote for liberal views and crazy ideas, it does. You're the person that makes this stuff available. And I'm not talking, just vote for the best guy and know people's policies. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but you better start understanding this, John Q. Public out there. You're running us right into the ground. And number two, on the balloon, just so you know, from what I've read this morning, those are all anonymous reports that there were balloons over at the Trump presidency, and I find it interesting. I'm not saying that there. The first thing that the people in charge now do is, well, it was the other guy.
Well, that's true.
I mean, it's strange credulity. It's strange credulity. And believe me, if there was balloons flying over when Trump was president, you don't think they would have been on that?
Well, apparently there was not so much Trump, it was the Pentagon. Didn't want to talk about him, apparently, from what I've read. And now they've been forced to. But I don't know. Listen.
Oh,
well,
hey, with that
after
balloon
the
too,
fact,
did you know that went over one of our 3 nuclear bases that have certain, just happened to go over that one.
Oh yeah, it just
It was
happened to.
total coincidence.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised. You know what surprises me? What surprises me is Canada didn't shoot it down when it crossed the Canadian border out of Alaska and came south, because they had looked at it. They just didn't get there fast enough to do it. All right. Hey, I got to run.
did.
All right, Sean. Have a good one. Bye-bye now. We'll be back with the rest. Hold on.
Let me tell you about the Lumberjack Restaurant of West Branch. Are you looking for a place that will satisfy the food cravings of the entire family? Well, look no further. At the Lumberjack, you're sure to enjoy the food and company, all while getting a pure up-north dining experience. With an array of entrees, burgers, omelets, desserts, and more, it's a sure thing that there's something for everyone. They have you coming back for more. So head up north to the Lumberjack Restaurant of West Branch, exit 212, I-75.
Your day starts before the sun rises. Once your boots hit the ground, you head out to a field, a barn, or a tractor. As stewards of the land, you know anything worth doing is worth doing right. At Farm Bureau Insurance, we've always believed in and practiced this same philosophy. From heaving bales and weaning calves to spring seeding and fall harvests, it's all about an honest day's work. Knowing your insurance provider is first comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Find your coverage in Vassar, Millington, and Mayville. Call Denny Miller at 989-823-8493.
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Because we all need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
That's Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
Race to savings at Menards. Get the best quality Dutch Boy paints at the best prices. Pick out the perfect color of Platinum Plus Interior Plat paint. It's a quality one-coat paint and primer in one, saving you valuable time. Just $44.89 a gallon. The great deal on Quick Solutions 2-inch trim brushes and 3/8 nap roller covers. Just $1.99 each. Race to savings on your paint project. Good through February 18th.
Save big money at Menards.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation and discreet shipping if prescribed. You'll love your results. To start your free online visit, go to 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMSJOY.
Tune in live Tuesday night for full coverage of President Joe Biden's State of the Union address, along with the Republican response by Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Coverage starts at 9 p.m. on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show, and we had a couple of callers waiting, but they dropped off, so we will move on, if you will. Interesting, as you probably have heard in the news, charges have been filed against Alec Baldwin for the Rust shooting. Rust was the movie they were shooting when he fired a gun, supposedly what's called a cold gun in the industry that had no bullets. And lo and behold, there was a live bullet in it, and he killed the director of photography on the production and injured associate director. The cinematographer was Halyna Hutchins, who died because of it. And the state has decided to charge Alec Baldwin and armorer Hannah Gutierrez 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter and up to 5 years behind bars if they're found guilty. Somebody has to be found guilty. Now, I don't buy Baldwin's excuse that he didn't have his finger on the trigger, he didn't pull the trigger. I don't buy that for a moment. And however, having said that, I don't think Baldwin put the live bullet in the gun and purposely shot the woman. Somebody, though, on that movie set has to be held accountable for putting a live bullet in what ostensibly is supposed to be a cold gun. First, I want to know why there were live bullets on the set. Start there. My understanding is that the crew or some folks were using these guns for target practice, which never should happen. This is serious business. Guns are part of the motion picture industry. They're part of television. They're part of the motion picture industry, have been forever. But there are safety procedures. Somewhere along the line, those procedures broke down. And because of it, one person is dead, one person was injured. And somebody's got to be held accountable, whether it's, I don't know how they're going to pursue Baldwin or the armorer. It's going to be interesting, but I understand that they have a whole list of people on set that are going to testify. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. To our phones, Ann is somewhere in mid-Michigan. Ann, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Doing well, thank you.
I'm calling because I'm hearing that people are chastising our military service, our men and women who work in high-tech jobs inside the military structure. If we have young people who are 13, 14, 15 years old who come over and fix grandma's or auntie's computers and iPhones and things like that. You don't think those young men and women go into the service and are using the best equipment given to them to track things?
Yeah, who's chastising them?
The
I'm curious when you say they're being chastised.
Giving them credit that maybe we're not being given the information because of the secretness of this situation. But the Chinese decided to lower the balloon itself, and shooting the balloon over the country with a missile of any kind. It just pierces that material and down it comes. But where is the missile going to go? I think they made a good decision.
Oh, the missile explodes. No, the missile explodes. The missile is fragmented in tiny little pieces. Yeah, the missile explodes.
Okay, but then bringing down equipment that's hanging on the balloon that's the size of 3 school buses, do you want it smashing into the ground and then you're not able to do an autopsy on it?
Well,
it was the best. It's 6 of one and half dozen of another.
Yeah,
that's grandma in the cornfield.
Well, let's put it this way. If it weren't for the fact that we found it over Montana, I might agree with you. Montana.
I have a funny feeling they were tracking it all along as it was in the ocean. We have sophisticated equipment.
Oh, I'm not doubting that. I'm not doubting that. But why would you allow the Chinese to overfly some of your most sensitive installations before you take it down?
Well, they know they're there. All they have to do is shut down the base and make it very quiet.
No, yeah, well, that sounds good, but that's not reality.
Oh, it is reality.
No, it's not even close to reality. It's an intrusion. Let's start with this. It's an intrusion of our airspace. And if we did that to China with a balloon, how long would that balloon last over China? About a minute and a half.
Well, maybe we're more sophisticated and we don't have to use a balloon.
Yeah, well, I don't think they do either, but they did. That's the point.
Well, it's a publicity stunt. It's a publicity stunt
Well,
that goes around the world.
Maybe. All right.
Oh, I think it is.
Yeah.
They're very sophisticated people in Asia.
Oh, I know that.
Oh,
I know that. All right. Real quick.
Wait, I have another question.
Real quick.
The guy who wants third graders to be all held back if they don't make the testing score business. Well, a superintendent about 45 years ago came into the district, and I won't say what district, but he came into the district and looked at all these seventh graders that were growing beards.
All right. What's that got to do with it?
I mean, well, they were held back. But that was a philosophy about 45, 50 years ago.
Yeah, but that's ridiculous. That has nothing to do with education.
Well, it was
ability to read has to do with education. So, all right, Ann, I got to go.
That was the same. Okay.
Talk to you again.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right, Paul, we got about a minute. Go ahead real quick. Matter of fact, you don't even have that much time. Go ahead.
Yeah, Art, on the national news desk this morning, they reported that 40% of America has gas stoves. And Senator Joe Manchin, a Democrat, and a Republican senator together put together a bill to stop the banning of these gas stoves.
Yeah, listen, they're never going to get banned. It's a great conversation, but it's never going to happen. Never going to happen.
Right.
All right, listen, I got to run. I'm out of time, unfortunately.
Right.
Talk to you again. Bye-bye now. We'll be back to close out the hour.
Direct from Las Vegas. Oh, what a night. 4 exciting entertainers performing live that feel-good music you grew up with. Oh, what a night. An incredible tribute to Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Oh, what a night. Wednesday, March 8th, 7 p.m. Red Room at the Dow Event Center, Saginaw. Get your tickets now.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you always.
One of my Wildfire coworkers contacted me after 5 p.m. one day. She was working with a member in a rush to meet with a seller of a vehicle she wanted to purchase. I double-checked her loan application right then. I emailed it out to her while she was on her way to the branch so that she could sign electronically. We had her check ready for her when she arrived by 6 p.m. Teamwork makes the dream work. For our member, the dream was finding a car, applying for a loan, and buying it in one day. And the Wildfire team made it work.
Saving members money, providing personalized service, going the extra mile. That's Wildfire Credit Union. Find out for yourself. Call, click, or come by any Wildfire location to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
All right, that does it for the Art Lewis Show for this Monday. We'll be back tomorrow with lots more. Focus coming up. We're going to talk about the Great Lakes Loons on Focus and their promotional schedule. They've already got it out. They're just a couple of months away from baseball. Yeah. All right, in the meantime, we're going to take a break, and then we'll be back with Focus after the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. An awful scene along Turkey's border with Syria. After a 7.8 earthquake and jarring aftershocks, more than 2,300 people have been killed. CBS's Cammie McCormick on the effort to help.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the U.S. is already providing initial assistance and will assess what the region needs next. In Syria, the situation will be complicated. The World Health Organization's Rick Brennan.
There's been a significant decline in funding for humanitarian operations right across Syria. And that's already complicated our humanitarian response.
After years of war, buildings in Syria have been weakened by bombings and were particularly vulnerable.
There's a dangerous situation on the tracks in East Palestine, Ohio, where a burning freight train that derailed is packed with toxic chemicals. Charles Emmerich with the Red Cross is convincing people to leave the area because of an explosion risk. Any blast could make the air more toxic.
Chaotic. A lot of people don't want to leave their house. They don't understand what the dangers are. Some of them have pets at their home, and it's hard to convince them to get out.
Well, China criticized the U.S. again today for shooting down what the Pentagon says was a spy balloon off the coast of the Carolinas. Beijing suggested it would hurt already damaged relations. CBS News national security contributor H.R. McMaster.
This is part of a broad campaign to extract as much data and information as the Chinese Communist Party can to gain an advantage over us. And this is an advantage militarily, as this balloon loitered over sensitive sites, critical to our strategic deterrent capabilities.
The security preparations are part of the script ahead of tomorrow night's State of the Union by President Biden. CBS's Scott McFarlane.
These 8-foot-tall black metal fences have been re-erected outside the U.S. Capitol through Wednesday. It'll be here in place for Tuesday's State of the Union address. And administrators here on Capitol Hill will limit tourism or visits Tuesday as they enhance security ahead of President Biden's appearance.
At the Grammys last night on CBS, Beyonce won the 32nd Grammy of her career to shatter the record.
I'm trying not to be too emotional. And I'm trying to just receive this night.
She won 4 Grammys on the night, but lost out on Song of the Year to Bonnie Raitt. Harry Styles won Album of the Year.
I've been so inspired by every artist in this category with me. This doesn't happen to people like me very often.
Computer maker Dell said today it's cutting 6,600 jobs. Right now on Wall Street, the Dow is down 104 points. The S&P is down 22. This is CBS News.
This is terrifying. This is really...
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is from the Highway Brewing Company in West Branch. You're going to get a $20 gift certificate for only $10. The Highway Brewing Company has 6 flagship brews and rotating seasonal offerings, all brewed on site. They also offer a carefully curated cocktail menu that highlights Michigan spirits. Head over to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause... because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I studied Spanish in college and never got fluent. But then I tried Babbel.
Want the most effective way to learn another language? In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons will have you learning another language in as little as 3 weeks.
Babbel is all conversation-based, so it gets you speaking quickly about things you actually talk about in the real world.
You'll really see a difference in how you can speak and how conversational you can be in just a few weeks.
Babbel isn't just lessons. You can listen to podcasts, play games, watch videos. You can even take live online classes with a link. There are so many ways to learn with Babbel.
The lessons online and in the app make it easy to learn from pretty much anywhere.
University studies have shown that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a semester of college Spanish. If you want to learn a new language, there's no better way than Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 26 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. Fire officials continue to investigate what sent a Midland restaurant up in flames over the weekend. Genji Japanese Steakhouse caught fire and burned Saturday. Firefighters were called to a report of a fire alarm just after midnight, and the flames quickly spread, destroying. The business had reportedly been closed for renovations. After 2 years away, the chefs are back to compete in the 31st Annual Culinary Federation Hot Food Competition at Zenders of Frankenmuth on February 13th. The chefs will provide meals in 4 different categories. Melissa Krzyzanowski, a competitive baker and pastry baker at the famous Bavarian Inn, tells us how the day will go for those who are participating.
And then once the judging is completed and the winners are announced around 5:30, then we get to go set up for the event where we provide 350 smaller versions of what we plated for the judges earlier in the day.
Tickets are $40 each, and the event will help benefit the Great Lakes Bay Region Family Against Narcotics chapter. If you would like to purchase tickets, visit zenders.com/ticketing. A teacher at Hemlock Public Schools will be recognized later this month for his work in teaching STEM topics. Jamie Slate was selected to receive a 2023 STEM Star Award. According to the school district, the former Hemlock student has taught courses such as chemistry, physics, astronomy, botany, zoology, and most recently, computer science. Slate says the award reflects the great work and support of the entire district without waiting to teach those subjects. He'll be recognized during the annual SVSU STEM Star Teachers Dinner on February 21st. WSGW News Time 11:07.
Engaged to be married? Planning the biggest day of your life? Join us February 12th from 1 to 3:30 p.m. at the Great Hall in Midland for the Bliss Bridal Wedding Expo and Fashion Show. One day only, be inspired and find everything for your wedding. Fabulous door prizes include a $500 cash prize and more. Tickets are only $5 at the door or online at blissmidland.com. See you February 12th at the bridal event of the season, the Bliss Bridal Wedding Expo and Fashion Show at the Great Hall in Midland.
Your local Zematic dealer works hard to give you every advantage when it comes to your. This year, we're giving you a head start in preparing for the upcoming season by letting you choose between industry-leading interest rates and deep per-tower discounts on a new Zematic Pivot. The earlier you act, the better your deal will be. Better deals, better equipment, better season. Zematic dealer today to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. See your local dealer or visit lindsay.com/spring sale for full details.
WSGW News Time 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. A recent survey conducted by the University of Michigan has uncovered some surprising facts about Americans and food. Michigan News Network's Tony Ortiz has the details.
1 in 8 Americans currently show signs of a food addiction. That's the most since officials at Michigan began conducting this survey more than a decade ago. A closer look at the survey reveals that the numbers are higher among older Americans and also among women over 50, a group that also showed a sharp increase in respondents who were overweight and in poor overall physical health. The number one sign that respondents admitted that they had a food addiction: intense cravings for certain types of foods, as well as an inability to reduce their food intake. In addition, some respondents admitted that they experienced both physical and mental signs of withdrawal. The survey also points out that highly processed foods are the leading cause for that addiction. Foods that are high in processed sugars, fats, and simple starches have the same effect on alcohol, tobacco, and other addictive substances. Tony Ortiz, WWJ News Radio 950.
Preventative health care access took a sharp downturn during the pandemic. That's according to data compiled to the annual health check in West Michigan. The report, released by Grand Valley State University's Seidman College of Business and Kirchhoff College of Nursing, says close to 40% of people delayed care in the U.S. during the pandemic. One of the report's authors, Erkman Aslim, says it's important because delaying care not only increases morbidity associated with treatable and preventable disease, but it can also contribute or indirectly related to the COVID-19 pandemic. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your weatherology forecast. Partial sunshine develops here for today with a high in the mid-30s. Winds out of the northwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, a chance for rain showers here late. Mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures fall early, then slowly rise overnight. Tuesday, a chance for rain early, cloudy, high of 44 degrees. Then by Wednesday, mostly sunny and a high around 41. Thursday, a chance for rain showers, cloudy, high of 40. Then by Friday, cloudy, high of 37. Saturday, mostly sunny skies. We'll see high of 30. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Vujcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 25.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW. Focus is presented by RoofMax. That's Roof.
Well, indeed, Focus is presented by RoofMax, the safe, affordable, and easy alternative to asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out more online at getroofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. RoofMax with 2 X's. Let me see if this works. Sing along. I need some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Yeah. Well, the reason we are playing that is we are about to talk about baseball, and we're going to do that. Tyler King, the Assistant General Manager of the Great Lakes Loons. Tyler, good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Thanks for
Doing
having me.
well. Glad to have you. Glad to have you with us because it's nice to start talking about baseball again. And
Yeah, we are 60 days from opening day at Dow Diamond, which is hard to believe. It's right around the corner.
I'm glad you said that because I tried to calculate it because I had a press release that said 64 days, and I'm going
And then doing the
3,
math
2,
backwards.
1. Yeah.
I did the same thing this morning. In all fairness, I'm like, I know what back on Friday, and so we'll do it backwards.
2 months basically. Let's simplify
2 months,
it.
yeah.
But people don't realize how far ahead you have to plan for the entertainment factor, not so much the baseball factor. That takes care of itself in a way, but you have to plan all the entertainment and the promotions, and all of those things have to be put to bed long before the season, don't they?
The conversations definitely start, I would say, even in the prior baseball season. Once we get down to halfway through August or so, the season typically ends in Labor Day. You're focusing your attention now onto the next season. You're keeping notes in your mind really well this past year. We would love to do this again. The crowd loved this. And so you have like your fan favorite list in your head, and then you're like, okay, well, and what's new coming down the pike and what new programs are out there? And then you start layering it in September, October, start reaching out, and it all comes together like this in February. And you hope, fingers crossed. There's always the asterisk, subject to change, but that's we've never had one of those. So it's always a great feeling when we're able to, put months and months of hard work out to the public and say, this is Loons baseball for 2023.
So let's start with a name that some people might be familiar with, Joey Chestnut.
Yes.
Is he going to eat you out of house and home? What's the
So Joey Chestnut, for those who don't know, is the 15-time Nathan's hot dog eating champion. He holds 50 world records for competitive eating, and he's coming to Dow Diamond on August 11th. He's going to meet and greet with fans during the game, and then post-game, he's going to be competing in a 5-minute eating contest against some local celebrities from the area before the fireworks show that night. Hopefully he doesn't eat us out of house and home, but no guarantees there. We do know he won't be competing in hot dogs. He reserves that for one time a year on 4th of July.
I was going to ask, what are you going to be eating? Because you have great food there. I mean, you have great food at the Dow.
Great food. That might be a fan vote coming out early or later in the year, closer to the game. We just know it can't be like hot dogs, brats, sausages, anything like that. So
how about chicken nuggets?
Chicken tenders kind of is
chicken
like the
tenders because you have them there.
Correct. It's kind of the leading theory right now. We want to go with something that's a piece that can be measured by pieces versus like poundage.
Right.
That'll be easier for a competition. So chicken tenders is definitely going to be on the list of options for sure.
So basically what you're saying is all of the media personalities or whoever's competing are competing for second place.
100%. I would be shocked if any of the media personalities are going to be able to take it down. I mean, I don't think Joey would allow that, first and foremost. So.
I don't think so either. And by the way, I'll just put this right out front. Don't ask me.
I know better. I know, we just got confirmation today. Your good friend Joe DeKay over on the Moose will be competing against Joey as one of the local celebrities. So there'll be good representation.
It's good for her. Pat's laughing in the background. I can hear that.
Yes. So I mean, Art, if you want in, we can make it happen. I'm sure we can slip in another contestant.
I must be busy that day. I'm going to have to check.
Darn, August 11th. I got something booked. So,
but that's just an example of the kinds of fun things you like to do, and particularly 100%. Minor league baseball. Not only do the fans get a great game and get to see some of the future stars of baseball, but it is an entertainment package, isn't it?
We always consider ourselves an entertainment company first and a baseball team second. And the people think that sounds weird because we are by definition a baseball team. But I would say if you were to poll anyone at the end of the game, I would say 80% of folks could what the final score was, who maybe even the opposing team was, and they certainly couldn't name a player on the team, aside from like the diehard fans that come multiple times. We view ourselves as a place for friends and family to get together, forget their worries and troubles for 3 to 4 hours, and just enjoy themselves, have a cold beer, a nacho the size of a baby, and then whatever entertainment we have scheduled for that night. I would say
Pat's having a good time. I can hear him laughing.
Yeah, he's dreaming about Loons baseball right now. I would say it would be different if we were a Tigers affiliate, like West Michigan. Very much, you have the Tigers diehards because they're a Tigers affiliate. That's different. Just affiliate all the way in the Eastern time zone with our parent clubs all the way out in LA. The prospect names are just not as well known. So guys aren't coming to see, or people aren't coming to see, our prospects as much. You're going to have to be a pretty deep baseball fan to know what the Los Angeles Dodgers prospects are at our level.
Yeah, the reality is you won't even know who they are till they show up.
Yeah, that's correct. So a lot of people don't realize that every major league club does it different, but the Dodgers like to keep that competition alive and well in spring training. So they won't release the teams at any minor league level until the week before opening day. So if opening day is on Friday, is coming in on Monday. They're playing their last spring training game Sunday morning, and that's when the announcements will be made.
All right, we're going to take a break. Come back. We're talking to Tyler King from the Great Lakes Loons and talking about their promotion schedule, and we'll have some of those other details when we return.
Liberty Bridge is your gateway to work, school, downtown, and the Midland Street Business District. Enjoy all the benefits of Liberty Bridge for free until April. Save time and fuel by taking the most convenient route to your destination. Avoid congestion at other local bridges and experience Bay City's newest, most reliable bridge. Brought to you by local union workers and Bay City Bridge Partners. For your passport to the lowest rate, get your BC Pass before April at BayCityBridgePartners.com.
This is Rachel from the SVRC Marketplace, located at 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront, Saginaw. Open up your heart to supporting small business during Love Month, global flavors, American favorites, and retail therapy. Mark those calendars for our Saginaw Riverfront Beer Fest, February 11th, or Kids and Kisses event, February 17th, with tickets now available. Need a rental space? Check out the Marketplace. We thank you for the continued support of our small businesses. Remember to shop local, eat local, support small business, and we will see you at the market. This is Rachel from the boardroom, located inside the SVRC. Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Offering lunch specials, full bar, everyday happy hour with over 20 Michigan and local brews and the best burgers on Riverfront. Come celebrate your love with us February 18th for our Cocktails and Kisses at the Boardroom ticketed event. Did you know we offer food and alcohol catering for all types of events, even off-site? Contact us at 989-751-0133 for more information. Get on board and support small.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The beating of Tyree Nichols, the debt ceiling.
New moment in the battle against COVID.
Ice storm, coldest air of the seasons.
News. Interest rates, inflation.
U.S. economy adding 517,000 jobs last month.
News. I'm retiring for good.
The U.S. has shot down a Chinese spy balloon.
And I commend President Biden's leadership.
This telegraphed weakness to Xi and the Chinese government.
News coverage
6 more weeks of winter.
on WSGW. This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. We're talking Tyler King from the Great Lakes Loons. He is the assistant general manager. Talking about the promotional schedule coming up, because we really can't talk much about baseball because we don't know who the team is other than opening day. So let's talk about some of the other promotions for the season. What have you got coming up?
There we go. Yeah, absolutely, Art. So, we have 3 great giveaway items coming up this year. Towel giveaway to kick off the 4th of July weekend. So that's coming up on June 30th. And then we have an Alpine hat giveaway. So if we were shifting from the beach to preparing for winter again. So Trapper hat for the whole deal. You'll look like you're straight out of Escanaba in the moonlight. That's going to be on July 28th. And then our annual golf hat giveaway is going to be on September the 2nd. So if you're into giveaway items, 3 great days for those. We formed a new partnership with Nickelodeon for the first time ever this year. So this one's really going to be for the kids. SpongeBob SquarePants is coming on July 29th. Yep. And then for the ones with little kids or maybe even little grandkids out there, Paw Patrol is coming 26th. And then, of course, our Marvel partnership is back again this year. We have Captain America coming 4th of July weekend on July 1st. Spider-Man's coming on August 12th. And then Star Wars, Jurassic Ballpark, Princess and Pirate, all the staples that folks come to expect at Dow Diamond will be returning as always.
I don't remember a time when the Marvel characters and the superheroes have become so prominent in society again. They seem to really have risen to the forefront, haven't they?
They really have. And so that was part of Minor League Baseball's initiative. They formed a partnership with Marvel a couple years ago. And so now you see approximately 90 teams across the country doing Marvel branded nights, hero night or a comic book hero night or things like that, but really to brand at Marvel and have licensed performers come out and licensed characters come out to the ballpark has been a push by Minor League Baseball to capitalize on that. And so the Loons will be wearing Marvel inspired jerseys. We created our own Marvel inspired identity. Really turned Louis into a Marvel villain. And so that's been a lot of fun to do that. And so, yeah, we want to make Loons games as entertaining as possible. So tapping into the behemoth that is Marvel at this point in time is a no-brainer.
Give a fan who may never have been to the Dow Diamond a sense of the flow of a baseball game. When do you do all of these promotions and all of that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the bulk of our promotion schedule starts after Memorial Day, depending on how the schedule falls. You're probably looking last week of May, first week of June. We could spend all the money in the world and try to make a Tuesday night in April great, but if it's 40 degrees out, like folks are not coming. We fully understand that. And so, we start when kids are out of school. They don't have to go to practice the next day. There's no sporting events. There's no homework to be done. So the bulk of the promotions are going to start that first week of June, and then we'll run them all the way through the end of the season. It always ends Labor Day weekend for us. We know school's back in session, so we'll start tapering off probably the last week of August or so. The Paw Patrol game on August 26th is our last Saturday before school's back in session, so that's really our send-off to the kids for the summer. But in those, 60 days or so between June and the end of August is when we're going to incur 80% of our attendance, and there's probably 40 games in that stretch. So that's when the bulk of the entertainment takes place.
And not a lot of downtime at these games because you're doing a lot of this between innings.
Yes, it's all taking place between innings. So the way that between each inning, there's 2 minutes and 15 seconds from pitch to pitch. That's an MLB regulation in the minors. But for the promotions and entertainment team, we only have 90 seconds to get on the field, do the promotion, and then get back off the field. because the last thing you want to do, Art, is make the umpires wait because you're trying to shoot T-shirts into a crowd. Like that is not what you want to do. So the umpires are your best friend. You get on the field, you do what you need to do, and you get back off because you don't want to impede the game or the pitcher or the umpires or anything like that.
When do tickets go on sale?
Single game tickets go on sale March 1st. Now, ticket packages are on sale now, anything from a 5-game plan all the way up to a full season. The day if you're only interested in coming to 1 or 2 games a year, but we also have voucher packs available. So if you're looking to spend some or save some money, you can get 10 undated vouchers good for any game, and you'll save money on the box office price that way as well.
Website?
Loons.com.
Very good. That's simple.
That's easy enough.
And Tyler joins Charlie Rood once a week in season. And we'll look forward to chatting with you again down the road, Tyler.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be back. April will be here before we know it. So
yes, it will. Let me give you a clue. The older you get, the faster it seems to come.
I fully understand. This will be my 12th season, and it gets a little quicker every year. So.
Oh, we're glad to have you with us, Tyler. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Art.
Have a great day. Bye-bye
well.
now. Tyler King from the Great Lakes Loons, and we appreciate his visit with us this morning on Focus. We'll take a break, come back, move over and find out what's happening in the marketplace with Baird and Company. All of that is ahead this morning.
If you're a sugar beet grower or industry professional, here's exciting news. Michigan Sugar Company will be having a first ever Sugar Beet Summit on Thursday, February 9th at SVSU's Curtis Hall. Several speakers will talk on a variety of topics involving production activities